Hello and welcome, I am the Sterling and today we are playing Going Medieval. In the last episode, I like to think that we brought ourselves back from the brink of extinction. We're down to bugger all food and then we built this farm, which as you can see is giving us plenty of cabbage, which in turn is giving us plenty of packaged meals. So for the moment, food is not an issue. On top of all that, we also got the wall in, which is once again another waterfall wall. Woohoo! Which brings me to this side over here, the west side of the entrance, which in all honesty, I still don't know how I'm going to do the wall. But I've narrowed it down to our last two options. In both scenarios, it's a straight wall to a tower here in the middle that runs in line with this tower over here. Option A is a 45-degree angle wall that runs from this tower to this tower here. Option B is I extend this front wall to about here and then run the wall up to this center tower here, giving us plenty of castle space to do whatever we want with it. But like I said, I still haven't decided which way I want to go. Nonetheless, it's irrelevant as we've got no limestone and we've only got 53 limestone bricks. So even if I knew what it was I wanted to do with that wall, I still bloody couldn't because we don't have the resources. So first things first this episode, we're straight into the mine to start mining limestone. So sit back, grab a cold one, and let's get started. So as you've seen me do a million times before, I'm just going to go through, find all the limestone, gold, whatever else I want to find in the mine as I go along, because I may as well mine gold at the same time when I mine the limestone. And if I need a bit of coal, I might grab that too. Trust me, I'm not even going to bother mining any iron. Look how much we got. We've got over 50,000 iron. Yeah, definitely not going to bother with the iron. But I'll grab everything else. So leave it with me. I'll do some mining and then we can move on. Now, I've spent the majority of the winter both digging out limestone and clearing acres and acres of forest for wood. And I believe now I'm sitting quite comfortably with both limestone, which we now have 7,185, and we're now producing limestone bricks once again. We've only got 420 at the moment, but that will grow quite quickly. We also have 3,683 timber, which as usual we'll need for bits and pieces here and there. And now let's get to work on the west side of the farmland. While they were mining, I was contemplating which direction I wanted to go when it came to the wall here at the front. Now let's face it, I did promise ridiculous, and I'm a man of my word. So I have decided we're going to square this off and take up as much space as we can, giving our already large castle an even bigger footprint. I don't know if you've noticed, but I actually can't render the entire castle at any one given time. No matter where I look from, the castle never renders completely in. That's why I tend to sit here in the middle of the castle when I'm doing things, because when I'm in the middle of the castle, it actually hides the fact that it doesn't all render in. So that brings us straight on to the next part of the episode, and that is we're going to start digging out the moat on the west side. So the way I'm going to have the moat is it's going to run across here, it's going to step down and waterfall all the way down here. It will then come down out the front of the wall that will be here and come all the way over and connect up to the existing moat. Obviously, I will have to backfill this part of the moat, and once all these walls are built, I'll then have to fill in all the ground. Once again, there will be storage under this side as well, so luckily I won't have to fill in all that much. And there we have it. I've planned out the first little bit. We'll get stuck into that and we'll take it from there. Now let's hit play and let them get to work. And here we go, we're being raided. We're lucky there's no trebuchets, just a whole bunch of primitive, thugs basically. No one with any decent armor, so this should be a nice easy fight. So today I've been having quite a bit of issues with the game crashing and lagging. It all started around the time I was down here digging out by the mine. What I came to realise, the cats and the dogs had heaps of children all around the same time, and it just started lagging the game ridiculously. So sadly, to fix this, I've culled a lot of the cats and dogs. We had about 10 or 15 cats. As you can see, we're now down to 2. I don't really use cats for anything other than vermin control, so a couple of cats should do the job. I've got a male and a female in case I want to breed them. But other than that, I killed the rest. Now, I know that this looks like I've got a lot of dogs, because I still do. I had almost twice as many as that, give or take. So I've kept all the young dogs and actually paired them now to our settlers, and while I remember and while I'm here talking, I should go through and set them all up for battle. So I've gone through, I've paired up quite a few of the dogs with our settlers, and now I've set them to battle, so then they'll fight in this fight with us. And then I've gone through, and every second mature dog I've culled. And now, even when it rains, the game runs well. Now, it is kind of sad that I've done that, because the rate that we were hauling goods around our castle was fantastic. It was really, really quick. But it got to a point that I basically had to reset the game nearly every in-game day, which you can only imagine how much of a pain in the butt that was. Now let's draft our settlers and defend Castle Sterlington. And here they come. The first victim. Whee! They're not wasting any time just butchering these guys. As I suspected, some are coming over here, but our attack dogs are getting them. Look at them go. Go the attack dogs. And look, the dogs are hitting them. Have we lost any dogs yet, though? That's the question. Whoa, the dogs make light work of them, though, don't they? I need to train up some wolves. Here's another one coming. Walt to the death. Whoa, these guys have nothing on us. This is nice and easy. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. They haven't even managed to injure any of our settlers yet. Nor do I think they've even hurt any of the dogs. So this is good. That's another Malorder down. And another. Oh, wow. Somehow or other, they have in fact made it into the TITS. Not quite sure how they've managed that. Bugger. Yeah, there's quite a few running in the TITS, but that's all right. It's planned for that. And then after the fight, I'll have to have a look and find out just how they're getting in. Now, there's quite a few settlers that are starving, which that's not good. So we need to hurry up and fight this fight so then we can then feed our settlers before they, well, starve to death, basically. Well, they're smacking on the door downstairs of the TITS. Where was this bloke going? Where did you think you were going, mate? There's nothing down there for you. The way that they're running back and forwards, I don't actually think they know where they're going. And fantastic, we won once again with ease. So let's just hurry up and grab everyone, undraft, so they can get a feed into them. Because, look, they're starving and they're unhappy, they're exhausted. And I would be too. Let's find out how on earth did they get through here. Let's see how he escapes, shall we? Right. Okay, he's running upstairs. All right. I thought I fixed that by putting an arch, but clearly I didn't. So I'm going to, once again, have to fiddle with this and work out how on earth I'm going to fix this. Because I can't leave it like that. Truth be told, I'm looking at it and can't really think of another way I can do it. I honestly would have thought that the archway would have been enough to stop them being able to get up through there. Nonetheless, I'll come up with a decent solution and that will be the end of that. And there we go. That's our moat dug. Luckily, I plugged the aqueduct when I did because, well, as you can see, I've kind of made a mess of it. When I've dug out the ground, the aqueduct has fallen away. But don't panic. It doesn't really matter too much as that's where the wall and the tower and everything will be. So I was going to have to knock it down anyway. This just saved me a bit of time. They really made light work of it too, which is a good thing. Now this corner here only has one step down, so the water will actually be at that level, which means the enemy will be able to enter our moat via this place here, because everywhere else it's raised up quite high. Sooner or later, I might actually dig this section here out down one level and then dig the rest of the moat out another level down, making it significantly deeper. But for the moment, that's just fine, because even if they do enter the moat, they'll only be able to go just as far as this section here, or they'll be hitting this wall here, which isn't the end of the world. And truth be told, I don't even think they're going to bother entering this part of the moat, because there is no access to the castle via this area. I don't think that this is going to be an issue. So next on the list, I want to plan out this corner tower and this middle tower here, and then we can start doing the bottom layers of the wall, which will be good. We're going to use limestone block walls as per usual, and we're going to build the towers exactly the same way that we've done all our other towers. There we go. That's the first two layers planned out. Plus, I've gone a little bit higher here on the center tower just so I can get a better idea of what I'm actually doing. Now let's hit play and let them get to work. And there's the first two layers of the wall built, and now we've flooded the moat. So I'm just having a bit of a gander, trying to decide where I want to go from here. I'm not sure if I just want to get stuck into building the wall here, or do I want to knock down this wall? Do I want to backfill the old moat? Or do I want to start building the storage area here? I'm kind of torn. I'm not sure which way I want to go. I'm not even 100% sure I know how I want to do the storage over here, because this area being tiered as it is sort of opens me up to the opportunity of having multi-leveled storage. It'd be very easy just to clear this all out. So I don't necessarily want to go backfilling anything, just in case I do decide to go down the route of multi-story storage. Say that one 5 times in a row. Multi-story storage. I did also mention in the last episode that I do want to start producing ice blocks to put down in our cellars to keep all our food nice and fresh and cold. Truth be told, I've never really had much to do with the ice blocks. I've always just sort of made do without them. Now, I was actually curious whether or not I could build an underground facility that once I've made cold, can I keep it cold year round and continuously create ice blocks? I'm not sure on that. I don't know how much I can actually drop temperatures using ice blocks, because like I said, haven't had much to do with them, just flirting with an idea. So I was even thinking that this depth here might actually be good for something like that once I start backfilling over the top of it. But I need to do my research before I go investing too much effort into something along those lines just to find out that it actually isn't viable. But something we do know is viable over here is the underground storage. So I've decided that's what we're going to get stuck into. And honestly, I'm kind of dreading it. Having a look, this is all rocky soil. And I really hope that that doesn't go all the way under, because that's a pain in the bum. Oh, I think we got lucky. It looks like it's all dirt under there, and it doesn't become rocky soil till it's out here. That was lucky, because it takes forever to carve out all that rocky soil. It's as though I'm carving out iron ore or limestone. And there's not much of a benefit to it, because we only get 6 limestone per square, which is next to nothing. Now, you may remember I did the storage over here, and how I did the storage with tunnels. That's exactly how we're going to do the storage over here. It's just going to be on a significantly larger scale. This area is double the size that this area here is. I will need to dig out under this part here, and I will need to backfill just this top layer here. I want to be very careful about how I approach this, because I don't want to fill in anywhere else just until I know what I'm doing with this area. So we're leaving this, we're cutting this out, we're leaving this. And all this area here needs to be filled out. So now before I go backfilling anything or digging anything out, let's build this wall up one level. Once I start backfilling this area, it will make it a bit harder to be able to access this wall. And in fact, I might as well make it 2 levels up, only because while I'm there, why not? So we'll start with the outer. we go. So they'll build that, and then we can build the wall behind it. There we go. So they can start building that. Next, I can plan to dig this section out here. Now, while I'm at it, I'll delete these wooden stairs here, and I'll delete these wooden stairs here, and I'll put it there and there, just for the moment, because as we know, we're not going to be deleting these walls, and these stairs are sort of in the way for us digging out. Now, I'll just start running some soil for them to build. And there, that is a hell of a lot for them to start. So let's hit play and see just how much they can get done. Fantastic, they made light work of backfilling that section here. I've left this section open as you saw, just in case I do decide to use it or expand it for some other purpose, such as creating ice. Now we're getting quite low on limestone bricks, we've only got 493. But we've still got plenty of limestone, so we just need to give them 5 minutes to actually make some bricks. Our food is still looking very healthy. We have 212 meals and 25,000 raw food. So we're sitting comfortably with food, which is good. So once again, that gives us ample opportunity to be able to continue with this project. So we're still going to dig out all this section here. We then need to tunnel underneath here to create space for pillars and archways. We then need to build pillars and archways the whole way across, spanning from north to south. And then we need to cap it with soil before adding the storage. In the meantime, I'll also need to find a way of getting down there, whether it will be via this tower, to which I don't actually know if we're going to keep this tower yet. I'm not sure if I'm going to knock the walls out either side and then keep a tower here or just completely get rid of it. I don't know yet. But as per usual, I'm not going to do anything until I'm 100% certain I know what I want to do. This tower here would make it very hard for us to get down to the storage level. Not saying it's impossible, just difficult. But it might end up being our best bet. This tower here, and this tower here will all have a sub-basement entrance to the storage. And I might even go so far as to add one here. I couldn't on this side of the tower due to the fact that that has the entrance to the TITS. And by creating an entrance into the storage area via this tower would give the enemy options of where they wanted to attack, thus not forcing them to come to this door, which, as I've said in the past, we did not want. This side, there's nothing in it, so I can hollow it out and enter the storage area here. That's if I so choose to. Now, if I do end up keeping this tower, as I've done over here, I will be building a walkway. I might even go so far as to try and keep the existing walkway we've got and try and build some sort of structure underneath to hold it up. I don't know. That might be harder said than done. Might just be easier to pull it all down and rebuild it. But in saying that, that could be a fun little project. I would really like to finish off this wall and tower here, only because our major waterfall wall looks so plain without water flowing out of it. Good news is, once again, this section here is completely separated from the rest of the map, so the enemy cannot access this area, so it is safe. Unfortunately, all of this will have to wait for another episode, as this is all the time we have for today. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.